Yo, people, you know what it is. You know what's good. You know what time it is. More time is more time. I'm the monk, and I'm back after the new year. It's been a crazy year, 2024, for football and life in general. But we head into 2025. Well, we're in 2025, January times, and I guess we're talking Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? Where do I start, man? I think I'm gonna start with Arsenal just ain't being Arsenal at the minute, and I can't lie, it's kind of disappointing. The results we've been getting, the football we've been playing, it's not Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? We found a new weapon in the set pieces, and I think it was Theo Walcott who was saying that we've kind of lost who Arsenal are at the minute with the free flowing football. You know what I mean? We've got a lot more rigid. I think that's down to being more defensive. Arteta obviously lost the league, and I think he feels, well, lost it 2 seasons back. I feel like he feels it's down to not being that defensive, which I kind of disagree with. I feel like sometimes the best form of attack is defense, but also the best form of defense is attack. And once you're if you're playing free flowing football at speed, passing quickly, attacking, it doesn't give the opponents time to figure out what they're gonna do. They're constantly thinking about what you're doing, and I think for a lot of the time in 2024, for this season and last season, we've kind of gave up the free flow in order to be more defensive and more rigid. And yeah, I'm not sure that it's Arsenal. I mean, people have been joking around calling us Stoke, and I don't really mind. You know what I mean? Call us what you want. At the end of the day, we are, as long as we get the dub, we get the 3 points. That is all that really matters, to be honest. And yeah, like I'm saying, I like having that string to the bow. But I think now we have that string to the bow, let's go back to what we was doing with the free flowing attacking football. Because if we add the two together, if we what year was it? Was it 2023? Yeah, the year we were just flying and scoring loads of goals and getting people out of here. Like, we have done that in a couple games in the current season, but not enough. But in that season where we were flowing and flying, if we add that to the set pieces and the defensive work of last season, if we put all of the 3 seasons together and we took the best qualities and put them forward, I think we win leagues. I think we win cups. I think we win trophies, silverware, all of that. But we kind of do one thing at a time, which is kind of baffling. But yeah, it's been a mixed bag. I mean, it's not been the worst. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are overreacting. I'm tempted to do Bristol Gooner shows for a lot of matches, but then I just feel like there is a lot of Arsenal content out there by the usual suspects, and a lot of it is very reactionary, and I don't want this to be a reactionary show. I want this to be, you know what I mean, a well thought out. I say well thought out. I'm doing it with no script, but a well thought out uh, analysis of like of sections. You know what I mean? Rather than just going game to game and this is shit and amazing, this is shit, amazing, I'll take that out. I'm seeing so much reactionary thoughts and opinions. I don't know whether it is just the football world and how fans are nowadays, but Arsenal fans in particular, very very reactionary fans, and It's understandable. We have PTSD from a lot of hard seasons with Mustafi, Kolasinac, these type of characters, and as well as coming close to winning the league for the last three seasons. So I get why people are reactionary. The other side of it is views. People need the views for their channel, and unfortunately, the newspaper showed you that misery sells. The news and newspapers tell you, innit? Like, negativity sells. That's what people are interested in, and people want to see the downfall of Arsenal. Not saying fans want to necessarily, but the fans that are making the negative content are mainly being viewed by other fans of different teams who come to watch the shit show and enjoy watching Arsenal people go mad because it's entertaining for them. But again, it's down to subscribers and views and money and all that. But if we take all of that out of it and we look at 2024, should we say, it's not been the best, it's not been the worst. I mean, currently we are still in the Champions League. We're flying, I say flying, but we've beat some good teams in the Champions League. We beat PSG, Sporting, amongst others, you know what I mean? And we've had some good results. And we're basically through, you know what I mean, to the knockout stages. So we're not doing too well, not doing too badly, shall I say, in the Champions League. We're still in it. I think we're like, where are we? Let's have a look at Arsenal in the Champions League. League table. Right, so we're third. We're third in the Champions League out of all of the teams that have played, out of all of the teams in the competition. How many teams are in the competition? Is it 30 something? So 36 teams in the whole of Europe in the Champions League, the best teams from the top teams from the top leagues. We are third. We're only sitting behind 2 points behind Barcelona and 5 points behind Liverpool in first place. So Champions League season's going okay, you know what I mean? Let's take a look at the Premier League. So the Premier League, we're sitting in second. Third in the Champions League, second in the Premier League. We're in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Okay, we lost to Newcastle 2-0, and I'm going to get into that shortly, but we're still in it. The fight's not over in that one. We've got the FA Cup we're still in, and let's take a look at where we are in the FA Cup. I think if we beat Man United in our next game, so on the third, well, we're in the third round of the FA Cup. So, you know what I mean? We beat Man United into the fourth round, and then whatever happens there, you know what I mean? So we're still in most of the competitions. We're doing okay in these competitions. Semi-final in one, third round in one. We beat Man United. We go into the fourth round. We're third in the Champions League table, and we're second in the Premier League table. And there's still plenty of football to play. So there is a lot of reactionary fans doing reactionary bullshit. Arteta out and all this bullshit. Granted, we need transfers. Granted, we need a striker. Granted, we are without Bukayo Saka, we are short on the right. I'm gonna get into that in a sec about the team and all of that type of stuff. But just to give you some context to our season so far, it's not been the worst. Do you know what I mean? We're not eighth. We're not out of the cup competitions already, you know what I mean? In previous years, we've been out of these cup competitions early doors. I think it was Birmingham beat us last time in the was it the FA Cup or the League Cup? One of them anyway. And we wasn't even in the Champions League and we were still not doing bits, you know what I'm saying, and coming eighth in the league. Now we're in a good position. We're doing good things. I think if you look at it game to game, you can have your opinions on individual games, but football is not an individual sport. There's not 5 games in a season. You know what I mean? Where losing one would be catastrophic. There are like 38 games or something stupid in the Premier League. Then there's another 20 something games in the Champions League. Then there's another whatever games in the FA Cup and the League Cup. There's loads and loads and loads of football to be played, and so you can't look at it as react. You can't be reactionary with it. You know what I mean? You're bringing emotion into it, which is what football's meant to do for fans. Make you feel emotions and heights and lows and entertainment. That's what entertainment does to you. But it's kind of like scapegoating one player. You know what I mean? It's a team sport at the end of the day. Like, one player can have a bad game or whatnot, but that doesn't mean that's not the sole reason for the whole team's bad performance. Individual mistakes happen, but normally they were okay. Say if it was a defense, say Saliba has a poor game and makes a mistake that leads to a goal. There are 2 or 3 more lines of defense that allowed Saliba to be put in that position. There are other players who didn't back him. You know what I'm saying? So even on individual errors, it's still a team sport at the end of the day. So we are very reactionary. We are very scapegoatish as football fans. I think Arsenal's probably one of the worst out there. Just through PTSD and experiences of the last 20 years. You know what I mean? I think because we've been to the very top, fans know, well, certain fans know what it feels like, what it's actually like. So it's kind of like winning the lottery and then losing all your money. Like, if you've never been a millionaire, you don't know what it is to feel like to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? So being poor and then being poor, you don't know no different, innit? But being a millionaire then being poor must be heartbreaking, you know what I mean? Because you've been to the top, you've been to the heights, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. But yeah, that's just me putting the context of 2024 so far into context, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do the reactionary thing as I've said previous. And yeah, but let's take a quick look at a couple results in all different competitions. Have a quick talk about it. Should we go from sporting? I think. Let's have a look. We'll go from the 1-0 loss to Inter Milan in the Champions League. There was a lot of reactionary fans there with that one. Then we went into the Premier League. We drew 1-1 with Chelsea. We then beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. So the reactionary fans started to chill a bit. We then, in the Champions League, beat Sporting Lisbon 5-1. Again, the reactionary fans weren't saying Arteta out and all this stuff anymore. Then we go into the Premier League and we beat West Ham 5-2. So back-to-back 5 goals. People were talking about this striker stuff. I believe we need a striker, but it just shows you that Champions League, Premier League, we can get 5 goals. If everyone's on form and banging, we can get the goals. We can spread them around the team. Then we beat Manchester United 2-0. Again, no reactionary fans. Everything's lovely jubbly. We drew 1-1 with Fulham. And this is where the reactionary fans start to show their face again. If I remember correctly, was there like a weird decision in that game that led to Fulham getting their goal? Something along them lines. We scored first, and then yeah, we let them into the game, and we couldn't get the win. I think no, what it was, we got the goal at the very end that was disallowed. Martinelli being offside. A lot of people started getting on Martinelli again. Reactionary fans. Martinelli does have issues with consistency, but when he's scoring, people ain't saying nothing. When he's not, people got something to say, and that's just football for you. But then we moved into the Champions League. Monaco beat Monaco 3-0. We then drew at Everton in the Premier League, and the negativity merchants started to rear their heads again. Because what's at stake in the Premier League and how many points ahead Liverpool are, people are looking at every single game as like, we need 3 points, and I get that. But at the same time, like I said to you, there's still plenty of football left to play. A draw's not a loss. It's not great. 1 point's better than no points. So we got the draw at Everton. Everton played a really good game, solid. Sean Dyche, I think he did the same thing to Man City and some other teams as well. So it's not easy to play Everton. I mean, if everything goes your way, you're gonna batter them. But at the same time, if it goes their way, they're a very solid team. With them, in the EFL Cup, we had Crystal Palace in the quarter final. We beat them 3-2. So no negativity merchants there. I think Gabriel Jesus got a hat trick on that one. Did he get a hat trick on that one? I think it was that one. We then went into the Premier League, had Crystal Palace back to back, beat them 5-1. No negativity merchants there. We then play Ipswich 1-0. I think that game was closer than it should have been, but we still walked out of there with the dub. We then went to Brentford in the Premier League. We beat Brentford 3-1. We then went to Brighton in the league, and we drew 1-1. Again, negativity merchants, any chance they get, rear their head. Reactionary fans, oh, rah, 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 we needed it. I get it. But again, still not a loss. Then we get into the game that happened on Tuesday, the 7th of January, I think it was. We came up against Newcastle in the semi-final of the EFL Cup. First leg out of two. And yeah, we lost 2-0. So at the current moment, all the reactionary fans are out, all the negativity merchants are out, Arteta out, fans are out. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, we lost 2-0, and it is what it is. Isak. People going on like Isak was amazing. Isak wasn't amazing. Come on, people. Be real. He had a tap in. You know what I mean? He had one opportunity. It was a tap in. He banged it. Gordon, great goal. We were sleeping on that one. But we had opportunities as well. Martinelli, you hit the post, like, that's got to be a certified goal. And I think, again, Martinelli's name comes up as not being consistent enough. I think that is a certified goal. Like, hitting the post. How are you hitting the post? 1-on-1 with the keeper. Do you know what I mean? Composure. He did everything right, but you know what I mean? Because the post doesn't even count on target. So you had a 1-on-1 and didn't get the ball on target. Various headers, Timber, Saliba, Kai Havertz. We just missed a lot of opportunities. So I don't feel like scoreline represents the game that well. I feel like if we finished our dinner, it's about 4-2, 4-3. They had a few chances as well, to be honest. So it could have even been a 4-3 game. Do you know what I mean? It could have been a 4-4 game if we took our chances and they took their chances. But they just happened to take. But they had like 3 shots on target and scored 2 or something stupid along them lines. So that is football for you. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You could be you could have all the possession, loads of shots, and nothing go your way. They could have hardly any possession, hardly any shots, and score hardly any shots. You know, score from the hardly any shots. You know what I mean? So that's that. We've got Man United in the third round of the FA Cup coming up. Then we've got Tottenham in the Premier League. Then Villa in the Premier League. Then Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League. If we beat Dynamo Zagreb, we qualify automatically for the next round, the knockout stages of the Champions League. So within the next 4 games, I feel like we definitely need to beat Man United. I know it's only the FA Cup, but their fan base at the minute are unbearable. They got a draw against Liverpool, and now all of a sudden they're world beaters. And do you know what I mean? They've gone from misery to even more misery to a bit of hope to now all of a sudden being world beaters, and that because they got a draw against Liverpool. And Liverpool looking a bit shaky, can't lie. They're looking like they could slip up. This is what I'm saying about a long season. Like, Liverpool flying now, well, flying then, and right now they've had a draw against Tottenham. No, they've draw against Man United in the league, and they lost against Tottenham in the EFL Cup. So that just shows you they've had a draw and a loss. So their form could be on the way out. Things could be changing. So before you get too ahead of yourself and be too reactionary, still a lot of football to play. We could catch, if we catch up to them, and say we won the Premier League. I don't want to hear none of these. All these reactionary fans need to quit YouTube because they're just promoting misery. And you know what I mean? I'm not really down with that. And I'll call them out. You know what I mean? I'll go on their shows and call them out. All of that stuff. But yeah, we definitely need to beat Man United to get into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Can't have their fans chatting shit. Then, on Wednesday the 15th of January, we have Tottenham, and that is a must win. You know what I'm saying? There's hardly any games, I say that, but there is a lot of games that are must win. But Tottenham is for sure one of them. They're going to be on the up after their little dub in the EFL against Liverpool. They're going to feel like they can do things, and they can. They're a good attacking team, but they're a shit defensive team. So we need to attack. I don't want to see no pragmatic stuff against Tottenham. I want to hit them on counters, all of that stuff. So we need to win. We have to win our next 3 games. And Dynamo Zagreb, if we got a draw there, I think we still go through. So I'm not too bothered about Champions League at the minute. We're in a great position to go through third, and that is what it is. So yeah, the next couple games, very important. Man United, Tottenham, Villa. We need to win all 3 of those, please. I need 9 points out of 9 points for that one. But let's go into actual players at the club. So we got the big man, Bukayo Saka, is out. We've got no Saka. Crazy. He's out with a hamstring injury, had an operation, gonna be out for months. You know what I mean? He might not even play for the rest of the season. And he was Mr. Consistent, playing with injury and just still banging, still helping the team out, goals and assists, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? He was the star boy. He's the star boy for a reason. But rest up, Bukayo Saka. Hopefully we have you back soon. You know what I mean? But let's take a quick look. 1 second. So we've had Ethan Wanyeri. He's made a few debuts here and there. He's scored a few. He's scored a couple goals. He's done well. You can still see that. You can still see he's not quite at the level we need, but he's a good fill-in. He's also injured now, so that's two young star boys out. Martin Odegaard is back from injury. He's looking a bit like anorexic. Like the way man's cheekbones are coming through his face at the minute. He doesn't look like the Martin Odegaard that we all know. You know what I mean? He looks a bit. It looks a bit like dad life is killing him at the minute. He needs to put on a bit of weight and get back to 100% strength. He's not playing at 100% at all. You see glimpses of prime Odegaard, but yeah, he's definitely not running at full tilt. We then have Kai Havertz. At the beginning, I used to get on Kai Havertz, didn't really like Kai Havertz. Then he proved his worth last season. And then he's just fell off a cliff again. I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether Christmas and all the schnitzels and lagers he's been drinking over Christmas and New Year's has killed him. But something's not up there with Kai Havertz. Don't really want to see him leading the line, to be honest with you. Yeah, so I'll get into the remedy of that very shortly. We also have Gabriel Jesus, who's come back into a bit of form. He scored a few goals here and there in different competitions. He got the hat-trick against Crystal Palace, scored quite a few goals. I think he's on like 5 or 6 goals in the Premier League or something like that. Maybe all comps, I can't even remember, but it was better than him having no goals. So he's come into a bit of form. I think out of the two, if I had to pick one to lead the line, it would be Gabriel Jesus, but he needs to stop dropping back into midfield and dive in. We just need him up there poaching. So that's that. We got Gabriel Martinelli. A lot of people have been getting on Gabriel Martinelli. Consistency is not there. He's just been off the boil. He's got a few goals as well, but at the same time, I think last season or the season before, he was on like 15 goals by now, or some, 10 goals. And he's nowhere near that right now. He's on like 4 or 3 or something like that. So yeah, he's kind of fell off a cliff as well. Don't know what's going on there. We got Leandro Trossard. He's fell off a cliff as well. I don't know what happened to Leandro Trossard. He's probably getting too much rest, too much sleep, because when he's got the bags under his eyes and the dark circles under his eyes, you know what I'm saying, he's doing bits. I think a lot of our players have had kids or doing something, living family life, living it up, and I think maybe their full focus ain't really on football at the minute. But he's dropped off a cliff, so I don't know what going there. Raheem Sterling, he's not getting a game for some reason. He's not getting minutes. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the defensive side of the game. He's not really great at running back and defending and tackling. He can't really tackle to save his life. But when you need goals and you need some threat going forward, why not sub him on, man? Why not give him half hour? Why not? Mikel Arteta just ain't giving him nothing. I feel like in the Newcastle game, we could have used Sterling. You know what I mean? Even if he did nothing, we'd have a bit of threat going forward. a bit of link up play. You know what I mean? A bit of pace, a bit of this, a bit of that. So I think that's it for the forwards, and yeah, I think that is it for the forwards. Uh, do. Let's have a quick look at what else we had there. So yeah, Raheem Sterling, yeah, that's pretty much it for the forwards. Going into midfield, we have Declan Rice, and Declan Rice, he's been a shadow of his former self. I don't think he was, like, I call him techless Rice, innit? Because he ain't got no tech whatsoever. The touch is baggy, the control is baggy, he runs baggy, his shots are baggy, everything about Declan Rice is baggy, innit? He's a he's boiling a bag rice. That's what we call Declan. Techless boil in a bag rice. 100 mil on a midfielder who can't pivot on the ball and can't pirouette and can't do no close control and all that. He can do a run forward, he can do a steaming run forward, but Maguire from Man United could do that. You know what I mean? So he's not, for me. He's not worth the money, and he's not really an Arsenal player. He doesn't really play. Like, if it was me, I'd have him playing just in front of Saliba and Gabriel, and just have a triangle there of raw defensive, you know what I mean? Stability. I wouldn't have him doing the Xhaka role, running up, trying to bang goals, running all the way up the pitch. Like, I don't want to see that at all. If anyone I want to see doing that, it's probably Thomas Partey out of the two. So yeah, Declan Rice is fell off a cliff as well. So a lot of Arsenal players are not in form, and we're still managing to do a couple things. Thomas Partey, he had a bad game against Newcastle, but out of the midfielders, he's been the most consistent. Arteta, do me one favour. Stop playing Thomas Partey right back. Stop doing it, bro. You're killing us. You're putting our best midfielder right back. Put Declan Rice right back. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's an actual defender. Why not do that? He can play centre back, can't he? Do you know what I mean? Put put Declan Rice centre back and put William Saliba right back, or vice versa. You don't have to put Thomas Partey in right back. Are you dumb? That's one decision Arteta makes. Really, really gets on my nerves. Like, if I saw him in public, I'd be like, yeah, Arteta, good man, love what you're doing, Arsenal all the way, rare tear tear, but you need to stop playing Thomas Partey right back. That is a non-negotiable. Stop doing it. It's killing him. You know what I'm saying? So Thomas Partey's been our best midfielder, but he had a poor game last game, but who can blame him when you're being played right back all the time? It's hard to remember your fucking role in midfield when you're just being put right back all the time. Martin Odegaard, we've gone through Martin Odegaard. Yeah, we've gone through Martin Odegaard. He's alright. Moreno, we haven't seen much of Moreno. He was our new acquisition for the season. Came into the club, got bodied by Gabriel, was out for a couple months, came back from injury, scored a couple goals here and there, done a bits and pieces. But again, when I first seen him play, I was like, he's dead food, man. And is he proving me wrong? Not really. I still think he's kind of dead food, to be honest with you. And but it's another player to fill out the midfield. So we've got him as a squad player, I guess, and I'm okay with that. But I do feel like we need a striker. Well, I'll get into what we need afterwards. So that's pretty much the midfield. Who else have we got that I'm forgetting in the midfield? That's pretty much it. We got Jorginho. And again, Jorginho's just a squad player, really. He's okay in in small bursts, small time scales, time frames. But again, he's on his shelf life. He's a squad player, and you know what I mean. I don't want to be relying on him. Really, yeah. At the moment, I'd rather see. I only want Declan Rice for the corners, really. You know what I mean. But I feel like if you play Declan Rice, it's more central as a proper CDM, a proper centre defensive mid, then he'll flourish a bit more. I don't like seeing him go up the pitch. I'd rather have him there, Thomas Partey further up, and Odegaard further up. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, moving on into the defensive positions. We've been out, no left back really. We've had Zinchenko and Calafiori. Calafiori's always injured. Again, he's quite baggy as well. He's got good aggression, a good aura, should I say, as in like he gets about, but he doesn't really do too much defensively. He's good on headers, I guess, and puts a few tackles in. But again, kind of baggy, man, and he's been fucking twisted out a few times. I've seen him be caught out by a few players, and yeah, he's definitely not the finished article for left back. Then we got Zinchenko, and he's doo doo, man. I can't stand Zinchenko, to be honest with you. Thinks he's a midfielder. Thinks he's fucking can take 100 touches on the ball. Thinks he's Martin Odegaard. I don't want to see that shit. So we've brought Lewis Skelly into the fold from the youth, from the Hale End setup. And to be honest with you, he's been better than Calafiori and Zinchenko. And I think he could make that position his. A little bit more training, a little bit more. If he ups the levels again, then we've got a real player on our hands for the left back role, and that can strengthen that left hand side. Gabriel Magalhaes, probably been our best defender, probably been one of our best players, to be honest with you. Like consistency, uh, strength, like he's got real leadership qualities. You know what I mean? Um, he's probably been my favorite one of my favorite players for 2024. Loads of goals, set piece goals, and just wicked man defending. So, oh yeah, I think if I was to give a score rating for him for the season, he's got to be like a 7.5 at 8, probably higher than most people apart from Bukayo Saka. Uh, William Saliba, he's done well as well. He's fell off a little bit. He's been getting caught here and there. He's missing sitters. You know what I mean? I've seen like 3 or 4 headers where he should be scoring. I don't know why he don't catch the ball on your forehead, bro. You know what I mean? Not on the top of your head. Like, why is the ball going over the bar and that? You know what I mean? You're tall. Just jump up and hit it with your forehead down. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I feel like I've got to explain to you, a professional footballer, how to head the ball when I'm fucking shit at headers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's been a bit here and there. Out of the 2 centre backs, he's been the worst one, I would say. Jurien Timber, again, right back positions. We've had a Mare. Ben White's not been available, been injured. We've missed that. We've also missed Tomiyasu, who's just fucking made of biscuits, made of fucking. Yeah, we got Kieran Tierney as well, the king of biscuits as well on the for the left back as well. But Tomiyasu, Kieran Tierney, these men are made of biscuits, isn't it? These men are made of digestive, dunked in a hot beverage, and yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. But Jurriën Timber doing bits. I think if Ben White was fit, I would play Ben White right back and Jurriën Timber on the left back. I think that would work. And have Lewis Skelly backing up Timber as the left back. And I think that would be a way better defence. But Jurriën Timber has not been bad as a right back. He's been really good, to be fair. I like how he plays. He's aggressive. He's kind of quick, skillful, great touch. He can score as well, and he's all round a good player. Would probably like to see his twin bro come to Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? If he plays left back or something, and fucking yeah, man, we'll have the two Timbers. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Defense am I missing out? So Jacob Kivior. He showed his levels a few times during the season. The ball's just been pumped over his head, and he's just been getting fucked up when Gabriel was out or Saliba's been out, and he's had to play. He's done a job. Man United, he did okay, but in general, he just gets spun. I'm not really into that. See what else we got. So yeah, that's pretty much it. David Raya in goal, who's been quite a good goalie, man. He's an upgrade on Ramsdale, 100%. I'll give Arteta that. He was right in that regards. So yeah, big ups Mikel Arteta for that decision. You know what I'm saying? But what we need right now to fix the Arsenal side going forward, we need a striker. We need, if you're not going to play Raheem Sterling, we need a right wing and possibly another midfielder, man. I know we've got quite a few midfielders, but the levels are dropping off, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely, if we need one player for the January transfer window, it is a striker, out and out striker, because Kai Havertz can drop back into midfield, and then we've got another midfielder there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we need someone with Gabriel Jesus that we could switch around and whatnot. But we need a Isak, a Gyökeres, a Vlahovic. What other strikers are there? Any of that ilk, you know what I'm saying? I would have picked Isak. I've been saying for years on this podcast, if you've been watching Isak since I watched him for his team, is it Sweden or something like, yeah, I think it's Sweden. One of the Euros, not the last Euros, maybe the Euros before, he was going on cold. And I knew from then, innit, that we needed him. Newcastle picked him up and they got a steal. You know what I mean? They did well. But yeah, so that's my remedy to fix our bad form. I say bad form, but we're, like I'm saying, second in the Prem, third in the Champions League, semi-finals of the EFL, Carabao Cup, third round of the FA Cup. We're in all competitions still. So, yeah. But the striker, that's the remedy for me. I feel like we need a bagsman, 20 goals a season type bagsman. And I think that will fix a lot for us going forward. But yeah, people, it's been the Monk. More time is more time. You've been watching the Bristol Gooner Show. I will be coming back with a lot more regular content for the Gooner Show, but like I said, I'm trying not to be too reactionary, so I'm going to be doing them every 2 or 3 games rather than every game. You know what I'm saying? Where we can look at things in context rather than game to game negativity bullshit. And I will be getting onto you negativity merchants as well. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all of them, man, there. You know what I'm saying? No time for them, man. But yeah, big yourself up for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Come join the More Time family. It has been the Monk Bristol Gooner Show. You know what it is. Salute. I'm out of here.